Hey, what's up, everybody's? It's Jez7780 with What Grinds My Gears, episode 34. What the fuck? Your saves are in another castle. And you can imagine what this is going to be about. We're going to talk Nintendo. And yeah, sorry about that other stream. I was messing around setting it up on my phone and to try to set the event, so I had it reserved to give you guys a heads up. But unfortunately, when I tried to link a hangout to it, it wasn't working, and it wanted me to do it off my phone, which I didn't feel like holding the phone to my mouth and talking about this. I'd rather use my microphone. And I don't know the quality of that thing anyway. So I never done that one. So I'd rather just do the traditional way. This seems to work. Again, still new to this stuff. So bear with me. Sorry for the guys that's sitting in that chat and the other one. I just, sent the reminder to come into this one. And we're going to get into it. This shouldn't be too long. I'm not anticipating an hour to an hour thing. But, what I wanted to do is kind of talk about this Nintendo Online. My goodness. So Nintendo, as let me get to the actual video here. So we're gonna do we're gonna do some screen sharing going on here and reviewing what's up. Hey guys, hey, thanks for coming in. Sorry, Elish Kuhn, thanks for coming in. Sorry, I had to switch up the deal over there with this one. But yeah. So first, we're going to go. So I'm going to share the screen just so we get it from the horse's mouth. We're going to just look at this online and now get into all the details. So what they released yesterday during their Nintendo Direct, which wasn't that great. I wish they, talked a little bit more. They keep just, and overall, just an impression of Nintendo Direct. I just feel that this is what they always do. This is why I kind of just abandoned the Wii U, and the Wii was different, but I left GameCube like halfway through after playing Disney Sports Soccer, realizing that all they're doing is just giving me, we got Mario Kart 64, we're gonna get Mario Kart GameCube, Mario Kart Wii, and they just keep releasing the same games. And now it just seems like the Switch has turned into just the Wii U. Like, this is Wii U with the games they wanted for the Wii U, or the games they put on the Wii U, they're just going to put it on the Switch and say, hey, you can take it on the road. Yes, that's very, very compelling. Yes, they're bringing some great games, a Zelda and Mario, and I like Splatoon, and Smash Bros. Would be crazy. But if you had a Wii U, the Switch might not be super appealing to you, because if you bought these games on the Wii U, you're just going to replay them on the Switch. But the biggest thing that Nintendo had with the Switch was the online service. The first time that they were offering an online service subscription, right? So we're going to do some screen share here. Now, a couple of things that grind my gears about this stuff is the challenge that Nintendo is going to face right now. The challenge that they're going to face is that this was free for over a year. So the compelling first part of like, hey, you could play online and be matchmaking and all this other stuff. Your same people had that for free for over a year already. They played Splatoon. They've done this already. I know they gave a heads up like you'll be charged, but it's going to be a very sour pill to all of a sudden take people who have been experiencing something for free and slap a price onto it. Now, granted, they did this to a T. Nintendo manipulated their audience to a T with having this happen to come out a few months prior to their biggest game that they could ever make that has an online presence in Super Smash Bros. So Nintendo's playing this to a T. They're tugging on heartstrings. They do this all the time. The first thing that I was pissed off about when I first saw this, $19 for a year, not bad. Okay, that's good. It's not $50, $60. And you're going to get games. We'll talk about that. The first thing that came out, I think over the couple of weeks ago, and maybe I just didn't miss it, was this family membership. up to 8 Nintendo account holders. This is the first thing that sucks. If you have multiple profiles on your Switch, the profile is linked to the subscription. Just like if you had, your prime, there's no such thing as a primary console like you have on the Xbox and on PlayStation, where if you make this your primary console, everybody, all profiles on that could share the online benefits that the primary account has. The Switch does not do this. For $20 a year, you got one profile. So my Jez 7780 profile, right? Now I got online. Now, if I have my son's or somebody else's profile on that Switch, which I do, they cannot play games online at all or have access to anything that's on my account unless I subscribe and pay $15 more. Basically, I'm buying two profiles. And they know this because look at the price. $34.99. But, we'll give you 8. 8 people on a Switch. Like, yeah, okay. That's a little excessive. You know I just need 1 or 2 extra profiles on the Switch. But you give me 8 to make it look like it's better value than what it is. But really what you're paying for is basically I'm buying two accounts. There's no master account. And hell, if you try to get another Switch and say, well, my account's over there and sharing my account, just like PlayStation and Xbox, like it deters you from buying any other subsequent systems. Like it's not worth it because you're going to be paying $20 a year for every single account that's on there. And it kind of sucks because any progression, any online play, plays Rocket League crazy, like his Rocket League setup on, like, he plays a lot more on the PlayStation, but we got it on the Switch. But like he plays on that, any progression he gets, and he plays on his account with his customizations, he can't play online. So he has to use my profile because that's the one that's paying for. So that's some shaftiness right there, especially Nintendo being family friendly and all this other stuff. You think they'll have some sort of sharing of accounts, at least on a primary console. Like, well, just on this one Switch, the people that are on here, if there's one paid account, multiple people could use it. No, that's not Nintendo. Nintendo gives you the shaft. So that's the first thing that pisses me off about this whole, the way they're doing this accounts. The next thing is, they're going to do their cards and stuff. We're going to go to this other thing. And I don't know if they're going to even have it on the accessories. This other ridiculousness. Where is that crap? I'm going to find it. So, yeah, we're going to do this. The Nintendo Online, the NES controllers. Here, this one. Ready? Where is this crap? All right, so this one, right? This bullshit. Okay? Now, with the service, they announced 20 classic Nintendo titles, right? Nintendo titles. But they're like, you're not going to want to use those little dongle those little dongle Switch remotes. You're going to want the classic experience. Right? Well, guess what? Nintendo says if you have an on-site account, if you have an online account, it only selling it to people who have an active online account. So, it's not included. It's $60, and it's limited to one purchase per Nintendo paid online Switch, individual or membership. Family membership. Even if you paid at $35, you can only buy this once. And it's not offered for the trial. So you can't just sign up for the 7-day trial and order these things. This is absolute ridiculousness. So let's see. They clarify this. Let's see. Clarify that Nintendo is only selling the controller in a bundle of 2. And it's only available to purchase once the Switch Online goes live. With each Nintendo account holder. So they're going to verify if you have a paid online subscription for you to be able to purchase these. So unless they clarify that more, this is the crap that they're dealing right now. And these things, You could click them onto your Switch just to charge them, but you can't play Switch games with them. Like they're not, they look silly as hell on the side of it. And this is what they want you to do. This picture. This. Doesn't look at the NES Classic. Like, I'm just like, I'm like, okay. They are just out of control right now. They got people by the balls, and now they're twisting some extra twists. And here you go. Yeah, there you go. There's the video. You can't use that with the Switch, but that's how you charge them. $60. And only $2 if you're a subscriber. What? I don't. What the hell is that? But meanwhile, they're like, play together. They're so consumer friendly. They're so future thinking. All this, it is bullshit. For the little tiptoes they made forward with the Switch, they take a giant Hulk jump back. And now, the point of the whole thing is this frequently asked questions. This is where Mario pulls down his pants and gives it to you. Right over here. Where are those saves, Nintendo? Where are they? Where is it? Is this where it was? It was in the frequently asked questions. It was where I'm too close to my TV here. Let's see. This is the one. If I own multiple Nintendo Switch systems, will I need a separate membership for each one? It says no. It could be used on any device by signing in with. Okay, so that one account, it's tied to the account. But yes, here you go. Nintendo cannot have you cannot use multiple accounts on one Switch. So you don't need a separate membership. So I misspoke with the separate membership, but you need to have your account on there, which is fine. Like you have your account and then that you can take it. But the biggest problem where that falls into is the cloud saves. Okay? The cloud saves. And where the hell is that? I thought I saw it on this one, or was it another frequent? It was another frequently asked questions one. So it was under the frequently asked questions. Let me turn this thing down for a second. I'll find it. Not that. Oh, there we go. Microsoft, I swear. There we go. Stop sharing. Okay, go back to this thing. What's up, guys? How you doing? Sorry, I had the chat up. I was just doing my my presentation. So, the cloud saves, okay? From the frequently asked questions, they said that once you stop having an active online subscription, you do not have those saves. Those saves are removed. You don't have that. Not only do you not have access to them, they don't store them anymore. Whereas Xbox has the saves included, which, that's wonderful. Cloud saves are included with Xbox, but you pay for Xbox Live required for free-to-play. PlayStation, you don't pay for free-to-play. Your cloud saves are tied to your PSN account. However, PlayStation gives you at least 6 months to retrieve those saves. So if you decide to cancel it and buy another console or come back, you have 6 months to get those saves back. Now, what Nintendo suggests you do is Nintendo says, well, since you lose your saves, you should save them locally. On that massive storage that they have on the fucking Switch. Because you should save everything on that massive storage that you have. Fuck it. Was 8 megabytes? Well, no, it's 32. 32, I think. And you go put a game on it. Good luck with the rest of that stuff. The paywall, I agree, Kuhn. I agree. It is hurting the gaming. And these guys all want the same. Like, this Nintendo, like, and we're not even, I'm going to get into the chat shit. But this Nintendo Switch Online, like, I want to know where the hell they had that frequently asked questions about the cloud saves. Because that is absolutely ridiculous. But that Switch is a mobile device, all right? Cloud saves are going to be of the essential with a mobile device. You know, it's not a big behemoth of a console that sits under your TV. This thing's on the go. If you lose your Switch, it gets corrupted, you drop it, and you don't renew, you lose your saves. You could depend on those cloud saves. And here it is. Let's see. This is the article, because I don't want to go from like, you know, tweets and all that other stuff. I want to see what the hell they have to say. And there's another problem. Oh, it is. I just found out something new. Not all games on the Switch will support cloud-based saves. So this is not a system-level thing. This is going to be per game. So it says, while majority of games, it would seem, this is from Polygon. You know, those fucking guys. They will support cloud-based saves through Nintendo's online service. It isn't something that will be available for every title. As Nintendo confirmed to Game Informer last week, there are several games that won't support this. Something the company is doing to stop potential cheaters. Games that won't support cloud saves will be Splatoon 2, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, and third-party, and as well as certain third-party games such as NBA 2K19, FIFA 19, and Dark Souls Remastered. So some games are not even going to support the cloud saves. So you're paying for a service for cloud saves that not all the games are supported. I did like, what the hell? What the fuck? I just don't understand. You had a year. Not only did you have over a year to figure this jerk off shit out, but you gave it for free. Now, not the cloud saves, but you gave online for free already. Now you're going to charge these people, and they're going to pay. You want to know why? Because Mario got his 2 white gloves wrapped around your balls, and he's going, woohoo, and he's squeezing them. Do you fucking see stars? They're going to pay. The carrot, the ultimate carrot of Smash Brothers. That's it. Like, that's it. Like they've done this specifically to get those people to pay. Nintendo is manipulating their fan base so bad. And I thought that Switch was going to be like, I had the Switch from day one. I'm happy with the games that they're doing. The online wasn't that great. Like, I played Mario Tennis Aces Online. The lag sucked. It sucked. What's up, man? How you doing? It sucked. The online was laggy as can be every single game. Now, in ARMS, it was not bad. But in Splatoon, it was not bad. But for some reason, Mario Tennis was not that great online. Like, I did not want to play that game online. Mario Kart was decent. But now all these games now, you're going to have to pay to play online. And, you know, we're not going to complain about paying to play online because everybody has a subscription. But it does bring you to this whole thing where it's like kumbaya, right? Everybody should play everywhere. We shouldn't restrict people to this. That's why all that talk is bullshit. It's all business. It is all business. They are not your friends. They are not your friends. Rooftop parties with Phil Spencer, Yabaris retweeting you, Aaron Greenberg giving you the fist saying X is going to give it to you. The Nintendo running around going, we hear your fans. And Reggie Fils-Aimé going, we love you. He's the fakest fucking one of all of them. Same thing with Nintendo. Same thing with PlayStation. They're not your friends. Sean Layden, Sid, whatever his name is. They're goofs. They are not your friends. They are all business people. It is a business. It's an economy. It is a business. And you are a consumer. Okay? So get your bias out of there, thinking that they all care about you. Consumer friendly, anti-consumer. This bullshit. You get what you pay for. If it's free for a reason. It's not free because they just wrote out a blank check. And they're like, oh, let's take a hit here. It's free because, like I said before, the State of the Sea of Thieves DLC is free. Would you ever pay for the fucking Megalodon? No. Nintendo service is $20. It's not 50 or 60. You want to know why? Because they want you to strap a phone to your ass to talk to your friends. They're not paying for no peer-to-peer talking or speaking or anything like that. They want you to use your fucking phone. Nobody's ever going to chat with you. You might say that's not bad or something like that, but you got to realize it. There was a reason why Microsoft put a headset in every box. There's a reason why Sony puts that little earbud in every box to incentivize people to speak during online games. That's the reason why that was there. I remember when Xbox at first with the one was not going to put that. They wanted you to scream across your room to the Kinect. And then Major Nelson came out and made a big deal about that. He included a chat headset with a friggin' big ass attachment on the bottom. But Nintendo is expecting you to get a phone, have your phone, download their app, start party chats. Do you have your phone set? Trying to get people on a phone call, on a phone with crazy ass wires and shit. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's the whole purpose of why you have a phone. You have a phone because it does everything. And a camera. And you're going to carry your Switch, and you have your phone on you, and you're just going to have a headset with you. Or what are you going to do? Have the phone next to your ear and play like that, like you're playing on the phone? And I just grabbed the Vita. You could chat. There's a microphone in it. This shit just works. And with party chat, it works. Unfortunately, Sony's not going to make any more games for it, but they abandoned it and just left it for Japan. But that system had capabilities that the Switch doesn't have. With the microphone and party chat, that thing was a template for what the PlayStation 4 was going to become. Because PlayStation 3 didn't have party chat, but the Vita did. And this chat thing is the whole purpose of online. The whole reason why you pay online, pay online, is not to play with AIs that have gamer tags or PSN accounts above them. It's for that interaction. Party chat is probably the biggest thing that came out of games. It made it a social experience. And Nintendo just has abandoned it. With a mobile device, nonetheless, where you should just be able to plug in a headset or just have a little microphone. They were able to put the fucking IR sensor in one of the little dildos that attaches to the Switch. An IR sensor for what? For the mouth, for the sandwich eating game? That's what the 1-2 switch. That IR blaster on the side of that remote. We put that on there, but we don't put a microphone on there. We have an IR blaster, so I could do the sandwich eating game and open and close my mouth, and the game detects that I'm opening and closing my mouth because you put an IR blaster on the bottom just for that one fucking game. But you don't put a microphone on that little switch. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And you want to use your phone. That kills it right there. Nobody's going to be hooking up, trying to sync an app, get their friends to download the app so that they could talk to them online and do that stuff. And have a phone attached to them in a pocket or on their side of their neck while they're trying to play a game. In a mobile thing. Or even on your couch. And nonetheless, that's just one aspect of it. Now we're going to talk about these games. All right? So, Nintendo says we're going to give you NES games with your subscription. All right? Let's read these games. Let's say Switch Online. I want to get them. Let's get these Switch Online games here. Yeah, save data cloud. This is actually what I was looking at. Move between systems. So that's kind of what I don't want to jump into this, but yeah, basically save data to cloud with automatic backups and then move data between systems with the same account. And it says right here, save data backup compatibility varies. Some titles, Splatoon 2, 1-2 Switch. Oh yeah, 1-2 Switch. I need my save data for that one. Are not compatible. So don't worry about it. So there we go. Let's go look at these. I just wanted because I got to their website here, the smartphone app. Oh my God, please. Nintendo Switch Online. Here we go. So these are the games that they got for the first 20 launch games. And there's no titles. It's Soccer, Super Mario Brothers, The Legend of Zelda, Ghosts and Goblins, Excite Bike, Tennis, Balloon Fight, Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Brothers 3, Tecmo Bowl, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Ice Climber, Double Dragon, Gradius, Ice Hockey, Mario Brothers, Dr. Mario, River City Ransom, Pro Wrestling, and Baseball. They went back. They went way back. Those are some old ass. Those are like launch titles for the NES. Like those are they went back. Like baseball, ice hockey, like they went way back. Now, granted, I believe some of these will have online play. Yes, connect with friends and share your screen for co-op or competitive play. Select 1 or 2 play mode. In single-player games, you could take turns with the controls. While playing online, your friend could use a hand cursor to give you hints and point out strategic locations. Cheer them on with voice chat. Oh, my God. Please. Yeah, with the phone. Yeah, I'm going to use the phone. And then somebody does a real phone call and it kicks me out of the voice chat. So apparently some of these will probably have online features. So then they have coming in October, Solomon's Key, NES Open, Super Dodgeball. Probably the best game ever, Super Dodgeball. I love that game. Then in November, they got Metro. And I'm not saying these are bad games, but my God, they have gone back. I thought at least Super Nintendo. Maybe sprinkling some Super Nintendo, some N64, hint, hint. Oh my God, stop holding these games hostage. It's like Microsoft with their IP. Just stop. I'm holding this stuff hostage. Give people what they want. You're supposed to be listening to gamers, right? Metroid, Mighty Bomb Jack, and Twin B. And then in December, Wario's Woods, Ninja Gaiden, the original one. That one was hard. That was a great game. And Adventures of Lolo. Adventures of Lolo. My God, like they went back, man. I know. Nintendo's pro consumer, man. They are milking that tit. Nonetheless, they got people buying $60 NES classics with the fucking controllers. Oh, but they're not wireless, though. And those controls don't work with the NES. It is such double, triple, quadruple dipping that it's crazy. I just don't understand. I thought they got it. Like when I was playing the Switch and I heard Reggie and I saw they're online and saw stuff, I was like, Nintendo, oh, you're moving forward. Like I even was like, Nintendo, shit, you're doing stuff better than Microsoft on certain things. You got a share button. Microsoft with 1,000 controllers don't have a share button. Nintendo got a share button. And they share screens directly to Twitter. No uploading to my upload cloud of OneDrive and then sending it to you. It took Microsoft 5 years to figure that shit out. But yeah, Reggie is shifty as fuck. He is blue. Oh man, yeah, he is. When him and Jeff Keighley get together, man, it is like cringe city, man. But Reggie is shifty, man. I do like him sometimes when he says some things, but man, he talks out his ass. I love to see him and Greenberg in a room just like talking over dinner, man. They would have to empty out the restaurant with the amount of bullshit that will fill up that restaurant. The smells. But my God, I have to say, I just thought that they would they would seem like they were doing like they had the games that, and I know if you had a Wii U, and I know Frogs, man, shout out to Frogs, he's in the chat too. He has the Wii U, and this shit pisses him off when he sees these games because he's like, I was a Wii U, like you're just re-releasing Wii U games. Like, stop. The Wii U was a failure, and now you're just like, yeah, let's redo it on the Switch. Let's port it over, and let's add a couple of things. And I'm not saying here that I'm not excited for Smash Brothers, but the thing is that I was diehard Nintendo. GameCube overnight. I didn't get an Xbox. I didn't get a PlayStation. I got a GameCube, and I played all that stuff. But when I played, all those Nintendo. I remember playing NHL Hits on launch, Luigi's Mansion. Like, I had the N64 all through college. Playing all those games with the original Smash Brothers and GoldenEye, and Nintendo 64 was like the multiplayer. Like, man, that was classic gaming right there. And I had the NES and Super Nintendo. Crazy. I loved that. I had everything. I didn't have a Genesis. But after GameCube, when I got out of college, I was playing GameCube, and I was like, what's there for Nintendo? And the guy's like, yo, here's Disney Sports Soccer. I'm like, yo, man. Then I heard guys playing online in Ghost Recon and stuff, and I'm like, wait, you playing online? Like Unreal Tournament. And that's why I got into Xbox. And I left that, and I just said, no more GameCube. Thank you very much. I remember doing Phantasy Star Online that came with the modem for the GameCube. Resident Evil 4, yep. And then I had the modem that came with Phantasy Star Online. That was like the one game you couldn't trade in because it tied its code to your GameCube. So I couldn't trade in Phantasy Star Online, but it came with that modem piece that actually, when we got those consoles, they always had mystery ports on the bottom, and you're like, what the hell is this for? And actually, that was for the modem to plug it in for the Nintendo, for the GameCube. What was the other one? Yeah, and I just did GameCube, and then then I came back for the Wii, and then that was all casual stuff. Like, it was just motion shit. They really never came out with any hardcore stuff, and I never really got hardcore stuff. And then the Wii U, I just said no way. Yeah, I'm just like, I just thought the problem again was the controller, the limitations. They listened with the Switch because now they actually have the Pro controller. They have 2 thumbsticks. They got the whole thing. Eternal Darkness. That's what I was thinking about, Blue. Exactly. That game was incredible. When you would have like fear and you'll see your screen change to video 1, you'd be like, who hit the input button? And it was just the game messing with you. Yeah, that was, shit. You want to get me on Eternal Darkness? That's another studio that Microsoft bought and destroyed. That's another studio. We forget about them because that's what got Rare, but they also got Silicon Knights, who made Eternal Darkness. Now, the guy was a kind of wacko, but that was another game. Too Human, if you remember. That was a studio that Microsoft bought. Fun fact. What a track record they got. But yeah, they bought that studio. But yeah, it was so cool. But yeah, and then like Nintendo is just like, I thought they were getting their shit together with the Switch, and now with this online stuff, they just took a bunch of steps back. Now, granted, for them, the nostalgia's there with the NES games, and there's a lot of NES games. And if Ice Hockey's online, I'm like, oh man, Ice Hockey online. Yeah, if they can match up the side-by-side stuff with playing with somebody online and some of those NES games, that would be pretty cool. Like Ice Hockey, Mario Brothers, the original one. But yeah, we do not talk about Too Human, right? Dennis Dyack, man. I remember his ass coming out at every E3. It was the Forza guy and then Dennis Dyack talking out his ass about Too Human. It was going to be a trilogy, and you got to fight with the one stick. Oh my God. The one stick will move. The other one will do all like sword moves and stuff like that. That was a trilogy. Oh my God. And I remember that. But yeah, like, and it just seems that this online service, they are really, really, really shafting the gamers. Like, they really are. And it shows. Like, and this is what I was trying to say too, when everybody's like, play together, the Xbox and Switch. Switch had their agenda. Nintendo had their agenda. They weren't just loving. They were taking free hand-me-outs from Microsoft's Kumbaya. The cross-play with Minecraft, the Rocket League. They're like, you know what? We don't have that many people on our service right now, but yo, you want to open up your Xbox Live members to play with our Switch guys? Thank you, because now we could advertise that we got Rocket League. And you saw Rocket League on their Switch commercial yesterday about their online. Oh, yeah. You think you're playing over millions of Switch players? Bullshit. You're playing with Xbox players. You're sharing all that shit. Taking those free hand-me-outs from Microsoft. Microsoft should have said no. Microsoft just said, these are our paid subscribers. They will play with us. If we want to do PC, PC is sort of like the neutral party. Crossplay with PC. But Microsoft should have shut them out. Because now Nintendo's using those players on Minecraft, on Xbox, using those players on Fortnite, using them on Rocket League to build their install base so they could get the $20 subscriptions. Now, I think Fortnite will probably be free to play, so it won't require a subscription. That's what they said. They said that free to play games won't require a subscription. We'll see. But this thing launches on September 18th, this Nintendo online service. And I do like that, because I remember at first they were saying with the online service that it was just going to be 20 NES games or 20 classic games. And the fact that they're going to give you 3 classic games a month while you're doing that means like you could have a huge NES library. And again, it's on the go. I'm not a proponent of all this other stuff, but a lot of these games are ROMs and emulators you could download right now on your phone. But disclaimer, I don't support that. But these are some old ass, and you see that's why Nintendo probably went after the the big ROM sites and stuff like that, because just they're probably gonna, this is what they were doing. I wish they mixed some Super Nintendo games in there. Like then all these NES games, and they seem like they're just gonna do like the whole NES library. You know what? It's something new. It's something cool. These are some old games, so like I'm not gonna say like, yo, you just released these last month, and now like I'm expecting to replay these games, but they went back, man. And them going this far back makes me think they're just gonna do the whole NES library. Like and then maybe slowly add Super Nintendo titles. I do think I like that they started with 20 at launch, though. Like they're gonna do 20 at launch. And to have it in a mobile pocket, like mobile thing, I thought they did this. If correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but like I thought they did this with the 3DS, like the virtual console, the virtual console. They already kind of did this, which another prosumer move, right? You probably bought a lot of these games on the virtual console, on the Wii U, on the 3DS, on the Wii U. Now you're subscribing and play them all again. Yeah, I know. Emulators all over the place. And it was funny because as I was listening to Nintendo Direct, I'm like, oh, look, I can just download the Ghosts and Goblins ROM. Like, you download the ROM. Like, it's insane. Like, these things are nothing. These size of these games are just like, they're like a megabyte. But the thing is like, you bought these games already. And now you're going to be subscribing and you're getting them. So the whole like your library comes with you, all this other stuff, who knows? And then the other thing too is like where the saves, I guess these support cloud saves as well. Yeah, let me see. With newly added online play available exclusively for members, get 20 games at launch, new games there regularly. I do think it's a cool value, like at first, like for that you get the 20 games and then you're gonna get 3 at least at a time. Like I'm not saying it's horrible. I do think that that controller thing is ridiculous. Yeah, actually, it says it right here on their website. The Nintendo Entertainment System controller. It's a member exclusive offer. It says to purchase this item, you must have an active paid Nintendo Switch online membership. Wow. That's insane. And I guess they're saying, well, you only could get these games if you're online. So, like, yeah. Oh, man. Like, it's just so... I don't... Yeah, I just don't know. I just think, I think when everybody's like pros, I think people throw that shit out there too much. Prosumer, anti-consumer. You know what? Like I said, they're all businesses. And Nintendo has... And they're getting you with nostalgia. Like, if you are a diehard Nintendo fan, which I am, but I'm not going to be... I don't repay for bullshit. If you are a diehard and you just love your Smash Brothers, they have got you. They are playing on every aspect of a game. Again, it's kind of the shit that gets me upset about what Microsoft does. And, Sony was doing it somewhat too early on with their with all their E3 bullshit, where they were showing all these games. Like, I remember people crying in the stands for Shenmue 3. Oh, like, they were crying. The guy was crying, clapping. The game trailers guys were jumping on desks and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, really? But meanwhile, Shenmue 1 and 2 come out to fucking crickets. Like, they remastered Shenmue 1 and 2, and it came out, and I was like, yeah, okay. But the reaction for Shenmue 3, you would be like, holy shit, like, what the hell? So they all do this stuff. But Nintendo has a real bad habit of having you rebuy. My God, how many times are you going to rebuy Super Mario Brothers 3? Like, I just don't. And the fact is that, again, I know people say it's an option. It's an option. They're selling the NES Classic with some of those games already on there and more. Now, what they did was they held off the online. So they're like, oh, some of these games are online. These games are going to be playable online. Oh, well, they lazy remasters, but yeah, I didn't know how. I just saw the hype with the 3, and I saw Shenmue 1 and 2 come out. I thought that was going to be like the bee's knees, and it was like, whatever. Now Sega cash in. Again, Sega's not your friend. They saw the reaction, and they're like, oh, yeah, we could cash in on that stuff. They're all businesses. And what you got to do is go to the business that satisfies your needs. And if they're not satisfying your needs as a consumer, you pick them. See, this is where I go in and go, you pick them, and you take everything that you can get out of them. You milk them just like they want to milk you. You go after them all. They're giving shit for free. You take that shit. And then if somebody else is giving it free, you switch your face and you go take that shit. They're not loyal to you guys. They're a business. They're a company. So you milk them for everything that they could give you. And that's always been my motto. As soon as you don't give me shit, you're useless to me. See you later, Microsoft. You want to jerk off and show me old shit? See you later. I'll wait for you to show me something that's worth a fucking damn. Nintendo, you want to give me shit for free? I'm going to take it for free. But you want to start charging me nickel and dime me for all this bullshit? You're done. I'll wait for you to figure your shit out. Sony, you want to jerk me off with all these games that came out, and you were just teasing us and just doing smoke and mirrors when you had nothing early on this generation? You weren't useful to me. I wasn't paying $400 to play Indie Station. At that time, Microsoft was offering the games. You were worthless. I didn't need you. But then Microsoft dried up, and now you start giving me the most amazing games that I've played in a long-ass time. And I'm going to take it from you. But, you go back to what you're doing. You did, and you start playing bullshit, showing one game, and it's getting delayed and all this other stuff. See, I can't fault them because they were growing. They started slow and ramped up now. And they've been ramping up for the last couple of years. You kind of anticipate that. You give people a leeway. But what Microsoft did was the opposite. They started strong, and then they just lost their way, which is not something you want to end strong. You don't want to just fade out. And that's kind of where I have a lot of animosity to Microsoft because I wouldn't expect that. I thought it would get better. Like it started off all right, decent, but the games will just get better, and the games have dropped off considerably. When Sony started off with indies and all that other stuff and then ramped up, and now they're on like full throttle. I just beat Detroit Become Human last night. I was catching up on it. I was like, I'm not starting another game. I gotta beat Detroit. Game story was amazing. The graphics are amazing. The emotion, they know how to tell a story. And I don't know what it is, but ever since I got my PlayStation and I played the Sony games, like I said, I did not have a PlayStation 2. I had a PlayStation 3 for God of War and Last of Us. I played a little bit of it and then just went on to the Xbox. But the games that I play on there, they have such a way of telling stories, emotion, gameplay, excitement that like I clap at the end of one of those games, like Uncharted. I'm just like, what a game! Like what a performance! Like what a good game. And I'm not saying that it's a movie. I'm just saying that it is an experience. Like it makes you feel something, which I can't say I felt that kind of emotion in Halo 4. I kind of didn't feel it. Halo 3, I had some of it. But Microsoft and Gears of War, I think, can give me a little bit of it. But Microsoft got real kind of with their games. They got very not a lot of substance in them. A lot like like it just seems that they really couldn't give you that emotion. The emotion had to come from the online, like oh shit moments. But the stories and the interaction and stuff like that, like they really didn't get that. And hopefully they change, with these studios and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just don't think they have you play a game like that and you're like, I don't have that kind of connection. And then Nintendo with their games, like they make you do a laugh, like a smirk, like like oh man, this is so cool. Like the gameplay, like in Zelda and in Mario, I was playing that game, and playing like they're quirky, but they give you the nostalgia feel. Like they took this and they put it, like they're creative with their games. I'm not saying their games are good; they're bad. Then Nintendo has polish with their games. And that's the thing. And you're right, Daniel B. Like, you're right. Like, they were known for I'm expecting this amazing. Like, when they signed the Titanfall 1, and back to Microsoft, like, they signed Titanfall 1. They signed, when they did that game, like, I was like, there we go. Let's get Titanfall is that next game. And that faded out, And it's a shame because I bet you if Microsoft really published it, put money behind Titanfall, and push Titanfall 2, that could have been their third tier. So you could have had Halo, Gears, and then maybe Titanfall being their own thing. But instead, EA scooped that shit up and EA destroyed it. So, EA has a track record of destroying stuff too. So Anthem, I'm not so sure about. I know EA is going to mess that up. So, because they just have, they screwed up Star Wars and they took Battlefield and they're screwing with that now. EA's just, I don't know what's going on with them, but they're in deep doo-doo. But it's just that they're businesses, and you take the best of what they offer because you as a consumer should remain flexible. You should know that, it's my money. I could put it wherever I want. But don't just give it to one of them because you got a rooftop party or they retweeted you or they tell you X is going to give it to you. And they like it, you're one of your tweets. Don't give them money because of that. They're not your friends. They may be nice people, but they're businessmen. They're running a business. They're running PR. They're not going to tell everybody to go fuck themselves. Because look what happened with what's his name. Just buy the game, you idiots. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Well, see you later, Battlefield. A lot of people are not going to buy it because you made a stupid comment. You don't talk down to your consumers. But they're not your friends, though, when they act like, I'm here for your best interest. No. Just like when you buy, that's like the last podcast I did, where your bar is like, listening, games should not be restricted. Like, you shouldn't restrict games to people. Games should be playable for everybody. And meanwhile, Microsoft has so many restrictive practices with free to play, requiring online, not Halo, not going to PC, them not putting their multiplayer, their big games on Steam, and creating their own walled garden of Windows 10. Very hypocritical, because you say that that's not listening to gamers. Well, you guess you're just as much of a culprit than everybody else is. And they're doing crossplay, they're just not doing it with you. And as we saw, Nintendo's doing it with you because they want to use your install base, because they got an install base. Guess how many subscribers Nintendo has of the online service as of today? 0. And they needed those cross-play games. They needed that install base so they could justify charging people $20, because Nintendo's not flowing with multiplayer games. They needed everything they can get, and Microsoft helped them. Just like how Microsoft helped Apple. And look what Apple does now. Apple was done. And Bill Gates showed up on their stage and helped them out. And look what he created. Create a monster. And now they're good job. You could be respectful, but you still can be competitive. And Nintendo, with this online service, they're trying to go be competitive. I think they failed, because they should have at least matched the features of the other systems and not put these limitations in, and these paid subscribers, and they also have another thing too. They're like, there's other shit, special offers. So I bet you're gonna do something like there's another thing here, like what is it? Special offers. I love when they say, "Oh, and special offers," but we have nothing to talk about right now. It's like, yeah, it's like, "Oh, exclusively for Nintendo Switch members, new offers will be added. Be sure to check out regularly." Like, if you have nothing to it, like, don't say we got special offers, but we have nothing right now for you. Don't talk about it. But obviously, they're gonna have probably deals with gold, or like there's some sort of discounts. No, I didn't see that Angry Joe stuff. But well, I said the Spider-Man stuff, man, that's a business deal. And that benefits us. Competition. That's a huge IP, and it being exclusive, you know what? You want to whine about it? It's business. It's what it is. Everybody's trying to sell a product. That's why it's really hard to say, like, I know the mix. This is a sidetrack thing, but the Mix-It stuff, right? How Microsoft was advertising having a Spider-Man console on Mix-It. And people are like, what are you talking about? Why are you not advertising an Xbox One X? Like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to give away please? And they're like, well, we are platform agnostic. It's like, no, you're not. You're owned by a person who has a foothold in this competitive market. Like, you can't be a Trojan. Like, you can't say I want to be everywhere, but still have a foot in the competition. Like, that's the problem that Microsoft has. That's why Amazon with Twitch, Amazon doesn't have a console that's competing with Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft. So they could be platform agnostic and kind of be everywhere. Same thing with Google. Until Google gets a direct competitor with Xbox and PlayStation, they could put their shit on everything and everybody be, okay, it's fine. But when you actually have a console in this console war, and then you're like, oh, but we should be everywhere, people are going to look at you as a competitor. That's why Sony's like, you're a competitor. No, that's it. But you're a competitor. So, like, once you should stop selling the console and then go third party, and you'll be fine. Sony will play with you then. Everybody will play with you then. But you are a competitor, especially when you're trying to compete, and all of a sudden now you want to be friends. It doesn't work that way. You have to have respectful, like, just like how football teams at the end and hockey teams shake hands at the end. There's a mutual respect for you in the gaming thing. But when it comes down to it, we're here to beat you. When you line up and to play a sports game, hockey, football, baseball, You're there. We're here to beat you, to rip your head off. I'll shake your hand at the end, but we're here for a competition. And I got to show that I'm better than you. You don't just come into the middle going, you know what? It's all about the love of the game, football. I'm not going to hit you. I'm just going to tap you. You know, I'll probably get a penalty if I hit you. Fucking NFL. But no, I'm not. No, they want to rip your head off. I'll shake your hand at the end of the game when it's over. If Microsoft has a position of an Xbox and it's competing against the Switch and PlayStation, you cannot come out there and be kumbaya because you're a fake. You can't put your games everywhere when you are competing. So you either need to get rid of that fucking console, and I think that's another way they try to go, like with this Windows 10 device. Like, oh no, it's really just a PC. It's not really a console. Like, it's really just a Windows 10 device. No, it's a gaming console. Maybe they're trying to remove the kind of them direct, and they say it, their direct competition with the other two. But it just seems that they are. You can't have a foot in the race and then say I'm not part of the race. You can't have I'm sorry. You can't have a foot in the race and then say I don't care about who wins the race, but you're in the race. You got to step out. So either you get rid of the console and you become platform agnostic and do that 2 billion gamers, or you keep producing hardware and failing the people who purchase that hardware while you try to focus on bigger prizes and think that the people who purchase the hardware are fools and just going to go along for the ride without giving them substantial content. And that's where you got to step up as a consumer and go, that's bullshit. That's unacceptable. I will not invest $500 in your store, in your ecosystem. And I don't give a shit about the games I bought 5 years ago. I played those games. I've used those games. Thank you very much. If you want to redo them and make an investment in them, maybe I'll reinvest in the game. But if you're just going to give me the same old games that I played and now I can play them again, thank you for the gesture. But that's not something that's going to make me stay here forever. Because I buy for new shit. If that's the case, I would just go buy a 360 right now. And I have 100% compatibility. And probably get games for $1. And you see it too. They'll make a game backwards compatible. That game shoots up on GameStop. They add about $10 to it. Microsoft gives it to digitally for $20. They're reselling you that stuff. It's free if you go find the disc, or if you bought it digitally on Microsoft Store when it was just coming to fruition with their online store. But there wasn't a lot of games, and those games didn't go on sale that much on the Microsoft 360 digital store. So a lot of people might not buy as much digitally as they should have. And that only came up to the last few years of the generation, was the online digital store. So a lot of the stuff is going to be physical. Now, if you have them, that's great. But you're still going to go rebuy them if you don't. It's not free. It's free if you kept the disc. That's great. And that's good. Exactly, Ant Money. You're right. And Microsoft is like, hey, guy, I know we want to beat you in the market, but trust me, we aren't your competitors. Exactly. It makes no sense. And that's why I always said with this crossplay thing and Nintendo and this Microsoft, yeah, beat you. I know what you meant. But like Microsoft and Nintendo, like they're going to play together. Nintendo is reaping the benefits of the free hand-me-outs just for this day that comes on September 18th. They needed an online. They needed that stuff to be compelling because they have to show. Because right now they're at 0. And they wanted to show that some of these multi-plat games, stuff like that, you're playing. Because right now their install base on those games, I'm sure if you just search Rocket League on Switch, Rocket League on Xbox or Rocket League on PC, yeah. On PlayStation, well, not on PlayStation, they don't play PlayStation, but like on PC, on Xbox, yeah, that's a bigger install base. Now, I know, Jemiah, it shakes my head too. Like, I noticed, and the last thing I want to touch on, and it's kind of Switch related because it came up yesterday, about all those Final Fantasy games going to the Switch. I don't understand. Listen, it is great, like Final Fantasy VII being on Switch, but that's the same Final Fantasy VII that's on your Android phone right now that came out in 2015. My thing is, it's nice that it's coming to those other platforms such as Xbox and Nintendo. And I think Nintendo's cool because it's mobile. You know, you can play these games on the road. But these games have been on the PlayStation since X10, Final Fantasy X10, X2, been on the PlayStation since 2015, 2016. These games have been on that store for 4 years. That if you really wanted to play those games, if those games really were like that, you can't wait. Why did you wait 4 years? And it wasn't like they announced that it was going to come to those. Like, it's just a surprise. Like, it's I know it's nice if you just own that console and it just shows up there because you never thought it was going to happen. So I understand the excitement for it, but I just don't understand that, you know, if these games are available elsewhere, did you really just restrict yourself not to give in to this console war, or to say, I made my choice with my Xbox, I will not go anywhere else? But you have all these Final Fantasy games sitting there on PlayStation for 4 years, and now you're going to buy them all now because they're on Xbox? I don't know. It just kind of, like, if there's something I really want to play, like with the PlayStation 3, I had no intent to get PlayStation 3, but I wanted to play God of War. And I did, and I got it. It's just, it's just so strange that it's like you conceding that, oh, you made the bad choice. Like, if Xbox just drops a whole bunch of stuff and does all that stuff, I would go get in and say, you know what? And I'll keep PlayStation because they keep doing what they're doing. But if PlayStation dries up and is going back to indies and saying, well, exclusives are not important anymore and all this other stuff, then, like, I'm going to be, no, that's not what I want to hear. I'm going to go somewhere to hear him. And I say, and shout out to Sick Humor. What's up, man? Yeah, they're cheerleaders. And that's the thing. Like, it's like, are you excited that these games are coming to the platform because they were on the Sony platform? Or you're excited because you really want to play those games? Because I personally don't consider, if I just had an Xbox, that this is a get. Like, oh, and I saw some people like thanking Phil Spencer. Like, I'm like, are you forgetting that Sony just announced, Square Enix just announced 3 games, like the Control, Quiet Man, the other game during E3. They just announced Last Remnant Remastered. Those games are not coming to Xbox. So for the 4 or 5 Final Fantasy games that are going to the Xbox and the Switch, there are 5 other games and Sega too, with that other game that comes out, in February. Like, the Japan is announcing games left and right that not even seen the light of day on. And Dragon Quest, what is it? Dragon Quest 11. That will show me that Phil Spencer is actually doing something. But I don't know if Phil Spencer like did this. I think this happens to be, these games have been on the store, the PlayStation store, for 4 years, and they have seen significant sales. Like, I just think they're like, okay, well, the PlayStation where our games are on has dried up. Let's put these on other platforms. Same thing I think happened with No Man's Sky. That game now is $60 on PlayStation because it's $60 on Xbox. That game was $20. Same thing with Nier Automata. Nier Automata was on sale for $30 like every single time. And now it's up there. And the thing is that, like, these are not these are, I look at these as old ass hand-me-outs. Like, they're just dumping it onto the Xbox and on the Switch because it's like, hey, it's another platform. Let's just do it. And people are confusing the Final Fantasy VII with the remaster one. Like, no, that Final Fantasy VII is the one that's on mobile. Like, that's the one that's on PC port. That came out in 2015. You go to the PlayStation in 2015. I think it's great that they're going there because that game hasn't been on an Xbox if you were just an Xbox fan and never had a PlayStation and never played Final Fantasy VII, which I don't know, like, how you missed that game. The remake is coming. I just don't know if it's day and date, just like Shenmue 3. Like, I'm sure it's Shenmue 3. But it's just like, I just think this gratefulness that, like, Microsoft is like coming back, or Microsoft is doing something to get this Japanese. I think that's a little misleading because I don't feel that they're doing a better enough job in getting what they should, because all the new big games that are coming out, or the newer games that just got announced in Japan, are not going on. I look at them getting that Japanese All-Stars game or like that fighting game day and date. That's a good move from Bandai. I think that's a good move. But still, Square Enix and Sega still giving exclusives to Sony, and they're not going over there. So I just feel that, you know, they're missing out on those. And I think it's just the nature of the business and the nature that the Xbox is irrelevant in Japan. So I think that is the biggest problem. And I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if it'll ever change. Like, you know, and I think the other big thing too is their demise in Europe. Europe has been, that was a battleground with the 360. Like, they pushed hard for Europe. But they're hanging in there in the United States. But that's it. The Japan is a joke. And I think Microsoft really needs to get Japanese developers. Like, I think he needs to go over there, not go beg for games. He needs to go over there and recruit developers to develop for a Western audience and show that there's an interest in these games. But again, it's hard to say because when these games do come to Xbox, I don't know if they're flying off shelves. I think that, you know, I think Nier did all right. But it just is so, I just think the domination this generation is so hard that if Xbox was close to them and not this 2-1, I do think that they probably would get more of these games because there's a bigger install base. And that's why I always say the problem that Microsoft has is you can't be saying we don't care about the console and you want this our games everywhere. You got to give a desire for the console, because if the console has a larger install base, you will get developer mind share. And that's something that they completely missed through this generation. They started it with it, like being competitive. Phil Spencer started with it, but they just gave up and said, you know what, let's just put our games everywhere. And as soon as you devalue your console, the developers are going to devalue your console. And you're going to be there begging for games to, hey, can you make us a game, please? And they're like, nah, man, I'm not, like, you know. Yeah, right. At least they got Shadow of the Tomb Raider exclusive. Yeah. But you know what? Nobody's mentioned it, but like Rise of the Tomb Raider, if that was such an amazing deal that they got that exclusive, why didn't they repeat that for Shadow of the Tomb Raider? Obviously, that deal didn't work out. And, you know, it's just, I think it's great that they're going there. I do think that they're just kind of just saying, hey, you know, Final Fantasy, let's just put these, because if you look at it, there's actually 7-8 games that like the 8 games or something that, and 2 of them weren't on there. I think, was it let's see, it was Final Fantasy on, what are all those games? All those games that they announced. That picture that's friggin' everywhere. Hold on. I'll get it. But like there were 8 games and then like 2 of them are not coming out. And those are the ones that are coming out this year. What was it? Here we go. No, I don't want Twitter. I want my thing. Where is it? Yes. So, yeah, I forgot what the hell's that picture? Where is it? Thank you. What the hell is it? Anyway, they had like 8 games on Final Fantasy, and basically 2 of them are not coming to Xbox or Switch. I think the ones that are coming out. I know you chat, you guys know, but it is what it is. I'm just saying, you know, they're not your friends. I don't know if Phil Spencer's doing anything in Japan. He's obviously doing something, but they need to make more. They need to focus on the console and stop this whole kumbaya shit, because it's not going to sell consoles and you're not going to get devs to develop consoles. And right now, it's coming to the end of the generation. These games ran their life. Nier Automata, all these Final Fantasy, they were living on this PlayStation store for 4 years. They're like, yeah, put it on the Switch and dump it on Xbox. And, you know, those guys should be happy that they're getting it. And meanwhile, these games are on sale for like $10 and $8. I'm debating about it. They're going to come out at $30 next year. And nonetheless, they're not coming out this holiday. They're coming out in 2019. So it's going to be even longer for these things. But it's good that it's going there. you know. And if you just own an Xbox or just Switch, you get these Final Fantasy games. So it's great. But we just need to take a chill on like Phil Spencer turning everything around. And that's what I mean. Xbox right now is in a rebuilding period. Okay. They're rebuilding. We don't know what's going to come out of them. Their recent quality of games has been questionable. They're relying a lot on accessories, hence controllers and features and third-party games that resolution matters, according to Phil Spencer, which I tweeted Greenberg. I told Phil, get your boy, because Greenberg's talking about 4K, true 4K bullshit. And Phil's like, you don't play the games, not the resolution. And yeah, Phil talked that about 4 years ago when that was the story, when he didn't have the resolution. Now the story's changed. That's what I mean. Stop it. Xbox is rebuilding. We'll wait. That's why I can't stand when they think they have something when they don't. The execs think they have something. Just be quiet. All right? Until you start coming with some good games for your gaming console, there's nothing to talk about right now. And stop it with the fucking controllers, please. The controller thing is actually turned into a meme. Like, it is ridiculous. It was a joke. It is absolutely ridiculous right now. And the fact that you're not doing custom consoles is even more ridiculous when you do that stupid shit. Yeah, and they're listening to their audience. They don't know their audience. They don't know the hardcore. And the thing is, and this is the last point I'm going to make, Jeremiah, about this whole thing. Microsoft's audience now is 2 billion people. That's it. That's their audience now. Every move they do is for the 2 billion. See, that's why I can't criticize Nintendo's shit-ass online service. The thing is, people will tolerate it. You want to know why? Because Smash Brothers, Zelda, the Metroid game, the nostalgia of NES games that people grew up with, but they're not relying on those NES games. They got them out there as carrots, but they got Smash Brothers. They just announced friggin' Animal Crossing, which they haven't had in a while, that people freak out about. They know what their fans want, so the fans will tolerate the bullshit. And I would tolerate Microsoft's bullshit if they were delivering high quality games, new experiences, better games on the level of Gears of War and Halo, and expanding those worlds, giving me Titanfalls 4 and 5, like making it like you give a shit. But they're not. So they got nothing. So therefore you should say nothing. But Nintendo's going to pull this bullshit, but they got Smash Bros. They got the games. Microsoft tries to pull this bullshit with controllers. It doesn't work that way. If Sony pulls some bullshit, I got to go, well, you know what? Do I want to take that bullshit? But I did play Detroit. I did play Spider-Man. I did play, I'll take the bullshit. Just like I took the Microsoft bullshit in 2013. I didn't give a shit about online check-ins and all this other stuff. You want to know why? Because they had Rise, Dead Rising, Titanfall. I knew Halo was coming. I knew Gears. Like they had games, so you tolerate it more. But when you don't have games, high quality exclusive games, your tolerability goes down, because I'm not going to tolerate when you're not delivering. And that's the sense. Like Nintendo, people will tolerate the $20 a year because they got games that people want to play. And that's the answer. Games. Just make great games. I said I'm playing Xbox, and I'll say it again. It's that easy. You make great games, and the other shit just falls into place. Don't make games for a service. Don't make games to weasel money out of people. Just make a great game. People will play it. People will buy it. People will share it with their friends. The game will sell. Your console will sell. People will subscribe to your services to enjoy games. If you put enhancements of those games behind paywalls, people will pay for that if it's a good game. But if you make these shit games like Sea of Thieves and give some bullshit free content that looks like somebody just took a shark and said, enlarge, Kraken, body remove, people are not going to play it. People are not going to invest in your service for it. That's the key. Just make great games. I got to head out, everybody. I want to thank you again for coming out. Over 20 viewers. I want to thanks again. Please share, like the video. My fellow grinders out there. Yeah, this is an impromptu one, but have a good time, everybody. I'll be back soon. But I want to thanks again, everybody, for coming out. I'll talk to you guys soon.